Thank you for coming out tonight. Firstly, I apologise, I'm from New South Wales. I know it's probably not looked upon highly, but I'll do my best to try to make this session as enjoyable as possible. I guess we're all volunteer coaches, myself included still. I volunteer coach in New South Wales, a rep team, a senior men's team. So I know how much time you give up to help the athletes get better. So for that, I'm extremely appreciative of that. And you coming out here today to hopefully learn. The clinic notes here, I may go a little bit off topic. I apologise for that. I'll just do stuff sporadically. They are there to help me stay on track. But if there's any questions you want to ask throughout the session, just please stop me and ask, and I'll try to coach on the run whilst answering your questions as well. I guess my first quote there, I'm big on this. If you always practice how you've always practiced, you always get what you've always got. So I guess from this clinic today, I want you to go away hopefully with some new thoughts, some ideas, and hopefully I challenge some of your ideas and thoughts, because that's how we get better as coaches. I feel like sometimes we're, myself included, a bit yes, and then you may have different thoughts, things you want to do differently to any drill. I challenge you to implement that into your sessions. Now stay on tune and on track with what Darren's trying to implement here at Casey, but also put some new ideas, some new drills into the drill to hopefully expand your knowledge and your experience in coaching philosophy, but also help the athletes get better as well. It's great to see so many coaches here. Without a doubt, this is the biggest clinic I've done, or the amount of coaches I've done for a clinic, so thank you for attending. So the first few things I'm going to talk about are the pace of practice. I think with our practice sessions, as coaches, we kind of want to have so many activities or so many drills within each session. And something I learned quite recently is over a 2-3 week period, try to have similar sessions or similar drills over 2 or 3 weeks. One, to help the session move more smoothly, so the athletes get familiar with drills. And within each of those blocks, so we call them blocks, so you might have a 20-minute block, a half an hour block. So your first block might be skill development. And first couple of weeks, you might be working on contested ball handling for your block. And within that block, you want to have levels of progression. And that's how athletes kind of get better. We don't want to do so many things or an isolation drill for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. We want to progress the drill as it happens in the 20-minute block. So this moves on to what we call blocked and random practice. So block practice is working on a skill over and over again till they get it better. And random practice is trying to put that skill into a concept that they might face in a game. And that's how athletes get better, by us putting them in situations where they can challenge their skill in a situation that might be challenging that's in a game, and that's how they improve and develop. So a lot of the drills I'll do today will add layers of progression, and it'll get harder and harder and harder. So as the session goes on, and every session I plan, I try to incorporate the 3 F's. So they're not the F's you might be thinking. The first one's fun. Every session we do has to be fun. Athletes don't play the game unless there's an element of fun to it. The second session is focus. And I think that's a big one. I think our athletes lose a lot of focus quickly. So how do we make sure they maintain focus through the session? I believe we want to try to make things as competitive as possible. So everything we do, we have to have an element of competitiveness to it. Even if it's shooting, try to make it first person to make 5 shots. First athlete to make 2 swishes in a row. Whatever it might be, but try to add an element of competitiveness to it. And the last one's freedom. So giving them the freedom, and this is the toughest part as coaches, to step away and just allow the athletes to play. We have such empathy for athletes that when they're out there training, we want to jump in and stop everything and fix it so they're successful. But in a real game, you can't jump on the court and say, stop, stop, stop. Let's rewind, let's do it again, and then we'll try to score off it. You can't do that. So we have to help the athletes fix the problem as it's happening, and then at the end, we can have a quick discussion with them. So that moves to I guess, an area that we love to do as coaches, and it's what I'm doing right now, talking. Like in a session, how often will you talk to the athletes, but then continue to talk to the athletes and continue to talk to the athletes, and then 5 minutes later, you kind of go, what have I just been saying to the athletes? And by then the athletes have zoned out, right? So Peter Lonergan, he uses a method called praise, prompt, lead. So whatever happens, 3 on 2, 2 on 1, they score, there's something that's gone wrong, you might praise the athlete, you might prompt the athlete, and then the hardest part is to lead, is to just say it, fix it, or change it, and then walk away as a coach and let them play. So as coaches, I challenge you to try to do more of that, coaching on the run. As I said before, we have such empathy for the athletes, we want to give them the answer all the time. So they might make the wrong cut. You as a coach, myself included, I do this all the time and I have to continually remind myself, you will tell them the answer. So how are they learning? We need to make sure that the athletes are learning as they're practicing, so you ask them questions. What should you have done there? What type of screen should you have done? Defensively, what could we have done better there? Now, what will you get if you ask an under 12 athlete? You get a 5-minute response. Or you might just get a 1-worded response. But that's how they learn. They give you an answer. Right or wrong, they're learning, they're thinking. And that's what we want. We want players to be creative thinkers out there on the court. We want them to do things that we couldn't do when we were younger. We don't want them to be robots going A to B to C to D. We want them to be able to think. Experiential learning. Learning by doing. So throughout the session, we're going to go over receivers, which I'm sure you've covered already, but I'll just show you some different drills that we might do to build our receiver spots. I'll then go over tagging up into full court D, or our shell. So we'll talk about what tagging up is, and then we'll go over some middle ball screen at the end. So we'll start off quite simple and then we'll build and add layers to make it a little bit harder and more challenging for the athletes, one, and for you as coaches as well. All right, and that's the great thing about coming here. Hopefully I challenge your thinking. So the first drill we're going to do, I like to do this at every session to start with, and this kind of goes against all teaching. When athletes come in, and again, it depends what age group you're coaching, but when athletes come into practice, what's the very first shot they like to shoot? 3-pointers. And us as coaches go, whoa, 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 let's go form shooting. But in a real game, as you get older, what's one of the very first shots they shoot in a game? A 3-pointer. So why don't we allow athletes to just shoot 10 threes at the start of practice instead of doing form shooting? Now again, you may disagree completely with what I'm saying. I'm just trying to challenge your thinking here. So this is something we do to start most of our sessions. So if I can get you boys up. We're going to get just one passer here for me, please. You won't be allowed to shoot, unfortunately. Are you a good shooter?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Another passer here, please. So you guys don't need a basketball. Let's get half at the wing here. So 4 boys there, and 4 over there, or 5 and 4. So we call this receiver shooting. So we're going to start at the diagonal position. And most of the time we'd have coaches here passing the ball. But I want to try to talk to you as it's happening. Okay? So you might have assistant coach and head coach. You might have an athlete that has a sore ankle so they can pass the ball. So we have them engaged in the drill. So you're going to throw the ball to the coach. You can be a coach for this drill. You're then going to sprint to the drift position. So we throw it, we turn and sprint, and then we want one slide, and we're going to catch on a jump stop and then shoot the 3. Now I don't care if you airball it, or I don't care if you hit the side of the backboard. If you're coaching younger athletes, you might have them sprinting, receiver, and then they might step in and shoot a 2. Okay? And I'll show you a progression from this as well. Do we understand what we're doing? You then get your rebound, join the end of the line, and wait for your goal again. The last thing we're going to do is add an element of communication. You're going to sprint and say drift, nice and loud. Ready? Go. Turn and sprint. Next person pass it. So here we're just getting up a lot of shots. So athletes are getting up a lot of shots, getting their rebounds. Catch it on a jump stop, hips are down. Nice and loud, boys. Yell it out louder. Right, hold there. Not too bad. Right, a progression. We're going to throw the ball. You're going to sprint to the drift. As you throw it, you got to yell out long, right, which tells you it's a long closeout, which then we're going to work on a shot fake, and when you get on the rim, you might finish, or you might pull up for a mid-range jump shot. Okay, so now it's some decision making. As they throw it, you got to listen, visualize the defender closing out hard, shot fake, and then get on the rim, or pull up for a jumper. We all right with that? All right, you two can jump in now and shoot it. Let's have 2 new passes. And we'll go first person to make 2 baskets. Ready? Go. Yell it out if they want long. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Go back. So what were you supposed to yell out? Long. So I don't want you closing out of it. Oh, closing out to it. That might have been my fault. Okay, so throw it, sprint. I go long. If I say long, that means long closeout. Get on the rim. We okay with that? Yep. Now, if I don't say long, what do you think you do? Yeah, shoot a 3. Okay, if I don't say long, so if they don't say anything, just shoot it. Do we understand? Ready? First person to 2. Go. Sprint, sprint. Listen to the instructions. Now we're having them think about what's happening. Turn and sprint, turn and sprint. First 2, make it a competition. Sprint to your receiver. 2, winner. Right, and what I like to do is add a penalty into each drill. So just a simple one of 3 defensive slides. Ready? Losers or runners up, 3 defensive slides. Go. Just 3. All right. Now we're going to put the lines or move the lines down to the drift position. And now we can repeat the same drill, but they're going from drift up to diag. Okay, so you'd throw me the ball, you'd sprint up, and then shoot a 3. Now, why do you think, and this is for the boys, why do you think I have you catching on a jump stop here? Okay, good. So you can pivot on either foot. Why else? Yeah, so we're square to the basket. So we turn and we're square to the basket. And a lot of times we don't want you stepping out of bounds. So we don't want you coming here and having a foot out of bounds. As we sprint up from drift to diag, I don't mind you having a bit of a banana shape here and go inside, outside and shoot the ball. What's the one thing we don't want you to do when you catch the ball, do you think? It's a violation. What's it called? Travel. We don't want you traveling, right? So you can sprint up. Now, different coaches will have different footwork here. You might jump stop. You might go outside, inside. You might go inside, outside and shoot it. All right? Ensure that you have your feet under you, so you're balanced. We're not off balance when we shoot the ball. We drop our hips. We're balanced, feet under us, and then we lift up into our shot. All right? What do we want to do when we shoot the ball? Follow through. And whenever we shoot the ball, we want to shoot long. Every time you shoot, think shoot long. All right, so I'm aiming for where do you think? Back of the ring, okay? Ready? We'll go first person to 2. Just catch and shoot the 3. Go, catch and shoot the 3. Sprint up. Yell out diag, diag. Hold your follow through, shoot long. Hold your follow through, boys. Stay outside the 3. Stay outside the 3. 2, winner. 3D slides, go. 3D slides. All right. So, progression now. We're going to go 2-on-1. You're going to start with the ball. We're going to have offense. Actually, we'll have offense up at the wing. And offense over here at the seam, please. Now, you might work on a deficiency here of your team. So it might be making a layup. So you might do a layup, so right, left, make a layup. As he does that, you're sprinting to the drift, you're sprinting to the diag. So that initiates the drill. You might have him doing 3 scissors, so a dribbling drill, right? Whatever it might be, have them work on a deficiency here. It might be a rebound. So you might throw it up off the backboard, you got to jump, rebound, and then pivot and pass it out. That initiates the drill. You're now going to turn and throw it, or whatever you do, lay up, get the rebound, throw it to either player. Throw it to one of them. You're now going to close out. So your thought process here is, what do you think? The first thing is what? Catch and shoot. So how do you know if you can catch and shoot? Yeah, there's a lot of space, okay, for you to get your shot away. If he's on you, what might you do? Think before that, what else might you do? Pass it, okay? So you might catch and shoot or catch and pass. So that's the drill, 2-on-1. That's what I want your thought process to be. Don't worry about faking it. It's just catch and shoot, catch and pass. And then you can only catch and shoot. You're not allowed to pass it back because we should get an open shot by then. Everyone all right with what we're doing? We're gonna do that both sides. So a player here, you're starting up at the seam, you're starting up at the wing. Quick, let's go. Ball down. You can make a left-hand layup, you can make a right-hand layup. Everyone understand what we're doing? You guys are sprinting to your receiver spots. What do you yell out? What do you yell out? Good. Start off the court. Ready? Go when you're ready. Sprint, sprint, sprint. All right, excellent. Now this is where we ask questions. What could you do better next time? This is what you've got to be ready to hear. That's all right, okay, didn't know. So what did you do when you caught the ball? What did he do? Anyone see? Did he take his time or did he make a quick decision? Took his time. So I want you to try to speed up your decision making. It's either catch and shoot. If he's too close, pass it. Don't worry about holding on to it for too long. What do we do over here? What could we have done better? Yeah, made the extra pass. Okay, so it's either catch and shoot or make the extra pass. Ready? Switch around. We don't have to do the same spots again. Move around. New players in different spots. Ready? And go. Make a layup. Sprint. There you go. Better. Good. Not too bad. Here we go. Switch around. Next group. Let's go. Start up top. Make a layup. Well, you know how to make layups. That's all right. Go. Next group. Start up top. All right, hold there for me. Start up top. So, as the second receiver, so sprint to the drift, spin to the diag, throw the ball. So you're the first receiver because you received the pass first. As the second receiver, what can you also do to help your teammate out here as they're closing out? What else? So percentages show us if it's an uncontested shot, so you're wide open, versus a contested shot, what has a higher percentage going in, do you think? Uncontested, so the open shot, correct. Okay, so if you feel like as he's closing out that he's too close and it's going to be a contested shot, what can you tell him? Yeah, one more or extra, okay, so you throw the pass. All right, now what I want you working on here is some passing skills as well. Now I'm left-handed, so this is probably going to go really badly, okay, but as you close out, I can just slide flick pass to my partner. I don't have to turn and look and pass because that takes up time. All right, now again, if we're at practice and you do this type of pass, that's all right, we'll just get better next time. Okay, what hand might you throw it with? Your left, okay, but if it's going from drift to diag, you might throw right hand. Do you all understand that? So it's just catch, flick pass, okay? Challenge your skill level. Ready? Go, sprint. Lay up. That's right, finish it. There you go, nice pass, good job. Great pass, good shot, well done. Here we go, next two. Ready boys, start in the stance. Sprint, make a layup. Here we go, that's never happened before, that's all right. Here we go. Go. They're ready. Go. Nice. Good pass. Couple more. All right. So, again, I'm spending a little bit more time on this than what you would probably spend on it, but I would do the isolation shooting for maybe 5 minutes. Bang, I'm going to jump into this straight away for 5 minutes. Okay, and then I'll jump into 2-on-2. Okay, so we're going to go one more. Now, we're only going to go one side at a time. So you can start here on offense. Just give me a defender here on defense. I need a player at the seam there, player at the wing. You can hop off for me, thank you. I need a player at the seam there and a player at the wing. You can hop off for me. Now, we spoke about this in our whiteboard session. How many times during a game do you think you yell out box out as a coach? Like a lot, right? What's the one, has any coach ever told you not to box out? I mean, I hope not, because Darren will probably ask them to move to another association. Okay? So this is a drill that we have to box out, and in order for you guys to get out, it might be you got to get 5 rebounds in a row. But if you give up an O board, you might go back to 0, or you might lose a point. So if you're on 4 rebounds, you might go back to 3. Do you understand that? So it's just a continuity 2-on-2 drill. And there's always an element of playing and boxing out. So we start here with a wall up. We've all been taught to wall up. So we build a wide wall, we build a high wall. You want to take away time and space. You're not allowed to dribble it. So you're working on your pivot. So just do a pivot for me. Now when we wall up, we want to guard the moving foot. So which foot moves here? Which is his moving foot? This one. Good, so you want to guard that. So I'm here, wall up, hands up, take away time and space. When you pivot again, guard the moving foot. Okay? And then you eventually shoot it and hopefully score. Now, in this situation, the box out is slightly different to a box out here. Because a box out here would be a turn, check, and then look and go get the ball. But if you were to do that in here, too much time taken away. Yeah. So as you shoot it, just pretend like you've turned to shoot it, you're walling up and the shot's going up, you just might put an arm bar in his chest, turn and look to grab the ball. And then you can take both hands to the ball and rebound. Yeah. But if you hit, turn, pivot, look up, it's going to be too long. Okay, so I want to take space away from him, give him a hit, step into him, contact or step in, hand, and then go and get the ball with 2 hands. Yeah. Does that make sense so far? Mm-hmm. Miss or make, you want to get the rebound. Mm-hmm. Now, as soon as you get the rebound, as soon as he pivots to shoot it, you two are sprinting to the drift and diag. When you get the rebound, you're going to throw it to one of those players. So just get to the drift and diag for me. You're going to throw it to one of those players. You're now going to, if he's closing out there, where do you think you need to close out to? Good, so he close out there. Now we're playing 2-on-2 here, okay? So if you throw it to the drift, you might yo-yo it back. You might rip and drive. If he drives there, you want to drag up in behind. Okay, you want to try to get 2 feet in the key. So we're playing 2-on-2. I'll let you guys just play out of this. When the shot goes up, what do? Turn and box out. Now, from here, the first person to get the ball out of you two is on offense. The second person's on defense. You're playing 1-on-1 at the basket. You two go back to here. Play 1-on-1 at the basket. Turn and box out. Now, if you get the ball, we're doing the same thing on the other side. Sprint to the drift, sprint to the diag. You throw it to one. Close out, you would close out to the other. Does that make sense? Yep. So the way we do this, first pair, or once you get 3 rebounds, you're off. As a pair only. So if you boys get an offensive board, then you lose a point. Okay, does that make sense? All right, let's rewind, go back to the start. Now these are new drills I just think about at practice. I chuck them in to see how it goes. But it's constantly going, and this is what we're trying to teach them, to go, what's next? What's next in the game of basketball? Because how many times do you see athletes turn, box out, and someone gets the ball and they just look around what's going on? Their ability to transition from O to D, D to O, quickly, has to get better, right? And that's just not you boys, but everyone in Australia, all athletes in Australia. Ready? You're playing 1-on-1. Wall up, nice and close, go, pivot. When he shoots it, you guys sprint. Go, get the rebound, throw it, go. Sprint, sprint. Yo-yo, drive. Box out, get it. Who's getting it? Play one-on-one. Go, you two. No, hold up. You two play one-on-one. Go. Wall up, wall up. Throw it, go. Quick, fix it, boys. Fix it, fix it. Same thing again. Got to get the ball. Go. One-on-one, you two. One-on-one. Hold on. Yeah, one-on-one. Good. I'm trying to get you to play. Keep playing. Pivot. Go. So I'm just trying to get him to keep playing. Not stop. Just play. Move. Come on. Got to drive. Got to drive. Receivers. Rebound. 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 You can get the rebound. Go. Yeah. Just keep playing. Now it is messy, but you want it to be messy because the game's a bit messy. What are you boys doing? Keep playing. I'm just talking. You keep playing. Go. One-on-one, you two. One-on-one, go. Hold on, hold on. Are we allowed to do that in the game? You can't run with the ball, can you? Is there different rules down here? I don't think so. So I want you to get it and keep scoring. So some rules I would add to ensure athletes compete. One, we call this multiple scoring. So I think we have incorporated that here. So if I'm playing you one-on-one and I score, I can get the rebound and score again. Okay? And I can get the rebound and score again until you eventually block me out and you get the rebound. Do we understand that? The other element I would add is no out of bounds. Because how many times in a game have you seen the defensive or your player box out and all of a sudden some offensive player comes from nowhere and throws it back into someone? So encouraging them to keep playing, not to stop playing. So I box out, right? I get the rebound, even if though I'm out of bounds, I get that, but dribble back in and play again. All right, let's get another two in. Another two. You boys jump in. I know your head's probably exploding right now of what we're doing. Mine is too, don't worry. Ready? Ball up, nice and close. Pivot and go. Don't let him score, don't let him score. Box out. Get it and go. Throw it. Sprint, get to your receiver. Box out. Play one-on-one. You two, play one-on-one. Good, get it. Pass it, go. Close out. Yeah, they're getting the hang of it. It's better. Move, move. Box out. One-on-one. Quick, get there. Good job. Keep playing. Go, throw it. Sprint, sprint. Oh, screen, I like it. Nice. Good job. Box out. Don't forget to box out. Don't want to give up O boards. No, throw it. Go, throw it. Close out. All right, out there. All right, so they're pretty tired. Give up a lot of O boards, right? See a lot of that. When they shoot it, they kind of go, oh, what do I do? Then I have to yell at them to continue to play. So you just want to try to encourage them to move from O to D quicker, D to O quicker, right? And what can you boys do on the outside here? Yeah, talk to them. What can you say to them? Lovely, box out, right? You should be a coach already. Okay, what else? Yeah, so you talk about drift diag. One thing we kind of weren't as good at, right, and the thing we need to improve on is if you get to the drift, you get to the diag. If I throw the ball here and you and I are a team, how do we know who's going to take that player?
The person who passes it?
Yeah, but not always. Like, let's say you were here and I threw it, who should take the ball?
Me.
Yeah, but how do we know who's going to take it? What fixed this, do you think?
Talk.
Yeah, talk, okay? So communication actually fixes a lot of things in life, believe it or not, okay? So you call ball. If you call ball there, I'm running to a pack positioning here to help if you get beat on penetration. All right, and that's when you can yell out extra. So communication helps a lot of things, believe it or not. Okay, not only in basketball, but everything else in the world. All right, you boys understand that? Yeah. Okay, next one. Give me corner, wing, corner. Let's go 4 whites, please. So white there. Just give me one more white.